Hi there, I'm Chef Celeste, and welcome to my Louisiana kitchen, where I'll take you all around Louisiana through food. On today's episode, we're cooking up stuffed potatoes, and we're doing it outdoors. So stay tuned and we'll get started. Okay, so first off, this is going to be outdoor cooking. So when you're doing this here, still preheat your oven or your grill. My potatoes have been pre-cooked, so they're nice and soft. So we have our bacon potatoes. I have shallots. We're going to use some garlic cloves. I'm going to use some chopped garlic also. I'm going to have some bell pepper and cheese. And of course, the star of the show is going to be my ground beef in here. So just turn your burner on. I'm using gas for this one here, so I have one of the outdoor camping stoves, and it's really good to have. Down here in Louisiana, a lot of times the power may go out. Sometimes, you know, we have hurricanes here, so if for whatever reason, and as well as being a chef, I like to use gas quite often. So you'll notice I use it at home also, as well as my induction cooking. So I'm gonna let my pan heat up, but while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and trim off my bell peppers. So we're just going to go around on the bell pepper. You see that? Just turn. And that way I can keep the seeds pretty much intact. Look at that. And just kind of shake off the excess ones and put that over to the side. Now you hear that sizzle right there? It's about ready to go. So I'm going to do large chunks in here because I'm going to put it inside the pan, and it's actually going to cook off and get kind of soft. So just like this here, nothing fancy. And now I'm going to drop in some of my ground beef. I'm going to use about a pound of ground beef. I have 5 potatoes over here, so that'll give me enough meat. I don't want to go overly heavy on the meat, but watch, you'll see what I do in a second here. So break this up, just like if you were making spaghetti or something like that. You want to just break it up. Okay. Just keep going just a little bit. Then we're going to season it up in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of salt. About 2 tablespoons, or 2 teaspoons rather, not tablespoons. A little bit of black pepper. That was like 10 shakes. Take it as hot as you can. I'm going to use some of my cracked black pepper seasoning. You know, I like to take the tops off and just sprinkle on that because that's a lot of good stuff. Now we have the steak seasoning going in, about a tablespoon of that. And we're going to use a little bit, about a tablespoon of Creole garlic. And this is going to give you a nice full body flavor. So just stir that all in. And even though we're outdoors, it's starting to smell really good right now. So let's get this going. We want to make sure it browns evenly. And now I'm going to chop my onion and put some onion in here. Okay. I'm going to take a quarter of the onion. All right, just tear that off. This is not a complicated dish. You can stuff these things with cheese. You can use pork. You can use whatever you like, pretty much. Cut that little end piece off right there. Go around. We've gone through this already. All right, drop all that in and stir. Okay, so while this is cooking, we're going to move over to our potatoes, and we're going to scoop out the insides on the potatoes to use for the stuffing. So get all your ingredients ready, get your utensils ready, and we'll start in a minute. I'll be right back. All right, now I've drained the oil off already. So now let's check out the next step. I'm going to turn this off for a second. And remember, when you're doing your burners, it's a 2-part. So I turned the switch off, and then I flipped it up to make sure that I have the actual propane turned off also. So just split down inside the potato. Do not go all the way through, because just think of the same as you're doing a regular baked potato. You want to be able to push that up, and you want to have it hinged. This baby popped open in the oven, so it did some of the work for me. You can blanch the potatoes if you choose. Again, I like to do oven work, so that way I can concentrate on other things and I can keep the full flavor in. Now go in, you want to hold your potato, and I'm going to put it over the pot. Leave a little bit of the potato in there. That's going to help it to retain the shape, okay? And just put it right in there with the potatoes. And I'm just going to set them back over to the side so that it's easy enough for me to mix it in together, okay? And I'm doing what, 5 of these? Not bad at all. Not bad. So scoop it out and we'll be right back. I'm gonna turn my heat back on, have my potatoes in here, mix that up. This almost looks like a deconstructed shepherd's pie. Same premise, really. You know, except for you add some gravy to this baby. So get that stirred in. Mix the potatoes in. Now I'm gonna break my cheese up and add it in. You can use whatever type cheese. You can use cheddar cheese, whatever you're fancy. That's what I want you to put in there, okay? And now that I'm thinking about that, try some blue cheese. Blue cheese would be awesome in here. All right. We cut a little bit more cheese to go on top, and we're gonna start stuffing the potatoes, and we're just gonna put that in. So again, you know, when you get in the kitchen, right now we're actually outdoors. Why not go outdoors? Get your grill, get some natural gas, some propane or whatever, and light your burner and just start cooking, okay? Okay, everything does not have to be indoors all the time. The weather is beautiful. Get out there and enjoy some of the beautiful weather, okay? So now, I think I'm gonna add, let me chop a little bit of tomatoes because I want some color in there. If you don't like tomatoes, don't put them in. It's up to you. I do. Put that in there. And we're gonna stuff. Stir that in. Break that up real good. Now watch what I do. You see how that cheese is starting to melt? Take your potato and just put some of the mixture back in it. I'm not gonna overstuff. You can take these and put them in half a potato if you want. Look at that. Sit that right there on your baking pan. Nice and easy. And again, like I said, you can use shrimp, you can use crab, whatever you want to fill it with. Because it's your potato. So whatever you want to put on there. If you want sour cream in there, by all means, add some sour cream to it. And I'm just going to push these up a little bit so you know that you have a loaded potato. And then these are going to go in the oven at 350 degrees just to melt that cheese on top. And there you have it. So I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to put them in the oven. And when you come back, I'll show you how to plate it up, okay? Be right back. Okay, so potatoes are going in the oven. I still have some ground beef left over. I still have some cheese left over. So we're just gonna make a nice ground beef dip, almost like a spinach dip or a rotel, but it's gonna be with the ground beef and my various cheeses. We're gonna add some sun-dried tomatoes in there. So let me get my tomatoes ready. And we're gonna put the rest of these in there. Why not? Waste not, want not. And it's gonna turn out really nice when you put it all together. So just give these a nice little tear. I gotta sharpen my knife. Okay, so put that in. Yep, I see one holdout on my tomato. All right. And again, we're gonna put the seasonings in. And the good thing about the seasonings, they work well with everything. You may think if you're using the seasoning blends in everything, that everything would taste the same. No, that's the beauty of it. It's mild enough for the food to retain its flavor, and it enhances the flavor of whatever you're putting on it, as opposed to overpowering the flavor. So that's what I like to use about it. That's, you know, the formula that I came up with on that. And then I'm gonna add some more of the Creole garlic. But this is the same seasoning that we're gonna use coming up. So I've added my spinach. I'm gonna add my cheese in. Now, look at all this here. You know it's gonna be good when you're adding in all your good seasonings and all of that stuff. So let me give this a good stir. And as this is melting, I'm gonna season it again, because again, we're layering the flavors. All right, so I put the salt and pepper in there. Let me add a little bit more of a Creole garlic in here, just to fortify what I've already put in here. And the seasoning blends is what I'm gonna hand off for the pig roast to Mike Juno. He's gonna do, I know, an awesome job on that. We're gonna call him the Pit Master Mike. So he's gonna use my senior seasoning blends to come up with his creation. So we're gonna let this cook and then we'll put everything together, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna pull one of these potatoes, this one, because it's nice and cheesy. Look at that right there. And then the spinach dip. Now notice I didn't add any extra cream or anything in here. This is a little thick. That's how I want it. So grab you some crackers or whatever, or you can just eat it just like this here. But as I saw the potatoes come out, I'm like, oh, I think I want a little bit on my potato. So I'm gonna put a little bit on my potato. And there you have it. Stuffed potatoes and a beef and spinach dip. So I'm Chef Celeste. Thank you for watching. Give this a try. Let me know what you think about it. You can find me on Facebook at Chef Celeste Gill or Chef Celeste, and the same on Instagram at Chef Celeste or Chef Celeste Cooks. I'll see you next time.